Welcome to the quick tour of our overlanding Crosstrek. Okay, why a Subaru Crosstrek? Why not? Next question. This quick tour is going to focus more on the camping side of our build, less on the vehicle, but there are three major changes or upgrades we have done, and I want to knock those out first. One of them is definitely a vehicle mod, and I actually am going to go out of order and do this one first. All right, this is the legendary ICECO APL 35, now in black. They sent this to us about a month ago. Yeah, look at that. I wanted to go out of order and review this fridge at the beginning so we can check back in at the end of the video and make sure it is still working, because we just came off of a good 4 or 5 hour heavy rain squall. And I told Hannah, they don't advertise it as waterproof, but this is Washington. All of our gear should be able to resist some amount of water. So I just stuck it outside right here for the entire 5 hours of heavy rain. You could see just how dirty it is from mud splashing up. But this thing weathered the storm like a champ. As you could see right over here, we still got power. Super intuitive design. You've got left temperature, right temperature. And then when you open this thing up, you got left temperature, right temperature.
Yogurt. I want some yogurt right now.
You want some yogurt right now? Okay, right away, what's the number one problem with our fridge? How many times we think it's closed and it isn't.
And it isn't.
And we burn a bunch of our power station because it's propped open. But with these things, boom.
This has like an ammo can vibe.
When I'm at my campsite, I want to feel like I'm walking around in a video game, and that's what it's like, resupplying. It looks so sweet. Another huge issue.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it, and it's still open.
No more smashed fingers.
That does not seem like an amazing feature, but that's my favorite feature.
100%.
It's so handy. So handy.
As you can see, her hands are usually full. So.
Yeah, having one-handed access to a fridge is amazing. And we almost can fit millions of cold things in.
Millions of cold things. All right, so this is the inside, and now for the first time we have a dual zone fridge. We can have a freezer over here and a fridge section here.
Dude, what do you think?
Wow. Look who's chilling. That's perfect. They're lights.
Oh man, that's gonna make night cooking so much easier.
Thankfully for you guys, I'm shooting with an A7S III, which basically has night vision, but it is dark outside. We're about an hour past sunset. But man, is it satisfying to pop this thing open and have fellow Subaru owners, you know what a black hole the trunk is. Since we usually rock the fridge in the trunk right here, it is amazing to have these lights. I ran out of steam before I got lighting installed in this whole trunk space, and so it is still a black hole. We really geek out about this because it is such a massive upgrade. Hands down though, the coolest feature is just the fact that it is this tactical black
loot crate,
and it totally matches the tactical vibe of all of our camping gear here.
It doubles as a nice chair too. It's the perfect height.
Oh yeah. All right, the next major vehicle mod that has happened since my last vehicle walkthrough is our suspension. I highly recommend you go see the video where we had that all redone. That'll give you all the details about what we did. I'm hoping at about the 2-month mark to do a full in-depth review of the RALLITEK setup. We went with RALLITEK for everything. The adjustable arms package, links, and struts for front and back. We have their Crosstrek overload springs on the front with 2-inch spacers, and then we have their Outback overload springs on the back with 2.5-inch spacers. And it has been a dream to drive. This road that we're out camping on is a blue trail in Onyx. We just did it a couple months ago with our previous Ironman suspension, and now with the new RALLITEK setup, it has made a night and day difference supporting our heavyweight. This thing feels so quick and responsive now and significantly more stable with this RALLITEK setup. You can use our code Tyler and Hannah to get 5% off at RALLITEK. Affiliate link will be in the description. If you have any questions whatsoever, just shoot them an email or give them a call and explain what you're going for, and they will help you out. That's what I did, and I love where we ended up.
Hi, do I hang out with the family over here?
Oh, that's a perfect bench.
It's just a little fridge.
Powering everything, we now have the BLUETTI Charger 1 alternator charger. It was on back order for a very long time when it first came out, so I actually bought 6-gauge wire and a 60 amp breaker and wired everything up ready to just plug and play. We got it, plugged it in, and it now takes care of everything. In fact, I could get rid of solar, except I just think it's that cool harvesting electricity from the sun. But this alternator charger is very easy to set up, puts out 560 watts of power. It has this app that lets you connect to Bluetooth and adjust the charging voltage. You can turn on silent charging. I have it mounted underneath our driver's seat, a space dedicated just for this alternator charger. I've not had any issues with overheating. All right, and then the power stations behind it all. I have this ANKER 521 portable power station, and then an ANKER 757. This is 250 watt hours. 757 is 1,250, so basically 5 of these. Don't entirely think I would recommend them, mainly because my ANKER power stations don't accept the full 50 or 60 volts that alternator charger puts out. But as our build has evolved, these never need to leave the vehicle. I don't have to take them in anywhere to charge them. So this little one gets hooked up to our 100-watt solar panel. This thing powers our fridge basically all day long, no power drain. This will be nearly full at the end of the day because the 100-watt solar panel outcharges whatever the fridge is going to use. It is snowing. Wow. And then at night when we don't have solar, I usually run this into the 12-volt plug on our larger power station. That power station is plugged into our BLUETTI alternator charger. And that thing is so fast at charging that as long as we're driving 1 or 2 hours a day, it'll keep our big power station full, or we can just turn it on and run the car to a campsite like I am right now, and it'll fill that thing up in no time at all. All right, those are the 3 major upgrades that make this possible. I am just gonna Vanna White through the rest of this tour, and then we'll break things up in future videos. For instance, that inflatable tent could be a whole video, our experience with this thing. So you could stay tuned for more in-depth dives into all this stuff, but let's go. I can't see anything looking. Let's go top to bottom, do the tent first or our rack above it, and work our way down here. All right, so we have sort of an off-brand roof box on top of the tent there. That is on Amazon. I'll link it below. And then we have a 3D printed STARLINK mount up inside that box. And then I have a whole bunch of extra cable coiled up inside that to run our STARLINK out of there. Locking roof box, we love it. Half the price of any of the major brands you see out there, okay? And then right next to that is where we mount this PELICAN Air. Shout out to Overland Truck Store in Bremerton. I went there when I first mounted up the tent to check out Roam boxes, and they were just too big, too aggressive for our build. Even though they did not sell this one, he told me to check it out. It is a PELICAN Air 1745. Extremely lightweight, extremely durable, and extremely space efficient. We keep all of our clothes in this. It's our suitcase that we can just roll into an Airbnb or hotel or laundromat or whatever we need. That box mounts right up on a custom 3D printed quick release mount up there. Probably one of our favorite parts of this entire build. Okay, then I got this 100-watt RENOGY solar panel. The solar STARLINK and all of our pod light cables run over the front of the tent here. That's what this mess is. I've got an action camera mount. You see a ton of shots on our channel from the action camera that's mounted right here on this top rail. On top of the tent, I have a couple nightlight floodlights that just light up our whole camping area at night. You could see those on the very apex of the tent. I doubled the strength of the tent strut and then also added secondary struts on both sides. That helps us with popping the tent in the cold with all of our gear up there or in heavy winds without having to worry about anything collapsing. This is a Nature Nest rooftop tent we got off Amazon for the price. I do not think you can beat it. It is the perfect happy medium between camping out of the elements in, say, a camper van, or going full outdoors and camping inside of a tent. It sits right in between those. Super well insulated roof and floor on that. The walls are very well sealed from heavy winds, but you still get to listen to the rain or the rivers nearby or the breeze and have that outdoor camping experience. We'll probably dedicate a whole video to walking through this tent. And then heating the tent, also off Amazon, purchased this LF Bros diesel heater. This is their more expensive outdoor edition. I don't think I actually use any of the features you pay extra for, other than I basically just paid extra to have it in black. We have it running into a Y splitter here with open and closable valves, so I can run this other one. Actually, it's open right now. I can heat my hands up. I can run this one to our ground tent, or I can run it up and heat the car as well. Or if I'm not using it, like right now, I can just close the valve and put all the heat into the tent.
That might be my favorite part of the whole camping
I was gonna say, this is
especially on a day like today, it takes it from impossible to comfortable.
Yeah, it's definitely a glamping
especially with
upgrade.
The girls.
This has a 5-liter diesel tank. It'll easily run all night for us. Plus, well, yeah, I've been running this one since yesterday evening, and then we flipped it on again for a couple hours right now while it's snowing, and it still shows I have about 2 liters. Crazy. And then coming back here, I have a 2-gallon can of diesel to refill that with. Main benefit of this is we'll run it all night, and then before we pack up the campsite, I just pop this can right off here, refill it, and then I can bury it in the trunk for the next night. And when we go to a gas station, I just refill this can, and I don't have to dig that back out to fill it up. All right, so we'll walk through the back here real quick. This is the Wilco high clearance swinging tire rack. I get a lot of questions on this setup. I really like this Wilco arm and would love to get a more custom bumper. But having these 2 separate hitches has been extremely valuable to us. The swing out arm on this supports 150 pounds. Some of that's taken up by the tire, and then we add this table. We have our 5-pound propane tank. And then I have this high clearance ATV hitch basket from Harbor Freight on here, and we just assembled half of it and then bolted down this Yeti box. This is probably one of the biggest quality of life hacks for our vehicle, is having this box with all of this lightweight toilet paper. We have tons of tissues. We have a couple towels in here, diapers, trash bags.
It's like our pantry, cabinet, everything that doesn't go in the fridge.
Love that setup, especially if you have kids like us. Everything you need is very accessible. Another thing I added since the last vehicle walkthrough was just an expandable duffel on the back of this Yeti box. We just throw all the trash in this duffel when we're packing up, and then we can quickly dump that at a dumpster when we are back out of the mountains. All right, and then we have the second hitch that doesn't swing out, and I got another hitch basket from Harbor Freight that carries our diesel fuel can, another duffel for just random things like our firebox. I keep nozzle for the fuel can, and our tire socks. So we have chains if we go over a pass that requires them. Really cool setup. I'll show you. This swings right over that diesel can, and there we go. We have all of our stuff, and we're not exceeding the weight of that swing out arm by splitting some of the heavier stuff. We find we only need a single camping stove, so we have this jet boil stove here hooked up to a 5-pound propane tank. This is made to use with the green 1-pound bottles, and we have an adapter to run it up to what is essentially 5 of those green bottles. So this thing lasts us forever cooking out here. I mean, literally, I think we could probably go 2 weeks cooking with that propane tank. And then we have a Rotopax water can here. We don't travel with water in it, but if we set up somewhere or are going out in the desert and want to have some extra water, we have this right here. And let's see if there's water. Oh, there is water in it. There you go. We have a little electric faucet. We have this Nashfab Crosstrek ladder that I purchased from RALLITEK. Little traction boards. If anything, we just use these to level our tires at a campsite if needed.
They've come in handy a few times, like in the snow and stuff.
Yeah, sometimes when we just need a little something to get our tires moving, they work. I almost forgot, on our Nashfab roof rack, we have their wing panels on the side here, and then we have a 3-gallon tank of gasoline on each side of our car. And I want to show you, we have been out here at exactly the spot camping for 3 days now, including the drive up. Let me show you guys this. I'm gonna switch to this camera here. We are still at over half a tank, which means our 2 cans here would take us back up to full, drive up into the mountains, run all of our electronics and camping equipment, and then still have a full tank for leaving here. That's crazy to me. Overland vehicle systems. All right, next up we have this 180 degree. We have a 180 degree awning from Vehicle Overland Systems. We cannot do a 270 on a Crosstrek because it is a hatchback, so that would cause problems. Actually, ta-da, it's a 270 degree awning, yay. We love this 180 degree awning. To be honest, we have a shower cube on the other side and this awning. If we found ourselves needing to remove weight from the vehicle, those are at the top of my list, because I would say only about 50% of the campsites or less do we actually open these things up. However, when we do use them, do you like them, Hannah?
Oh, on a day like today, it's a huge game changer.
It covers up our Yeti box, all of our dry supplies here. It's sagging because I'm using it as a rain collector. Check this out.
Don't get yourself all wet.
Oh. Dude, that was actually, for missing, that's a lot of water. The idea was there, the execution could be improved. That's a good idea, right, Hannah? If you held, we could get a full shower out of doing that. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna get this out. This is our swing out shower tent. This is also by Nature Nest, sold on Amazon. You've probably seen them before. 2 arms just pop out and then you have a square enclosed shower space. In my opinion, it is not totally necessary, but it is a nice luxury to have a private little space like that. You can use as a changing room. You could put a camping toilet in it. And then of course you can use it to shower. Speaking of showering, all right, this is worth highlighting right here. This is a 5-gallon water purifier from Lifesaver. We got this even before we started camping. We just fill it up at a river and then take it home, and we have nice purified fresh water to drink at home. It's hand pressurized with the pump, so you don't need electricity. And then inside you have an extremely well-made 2-stage filter that filters the water that comes out as it is being dispensed. And then you have a little carbon disc in here to remove odors and tastes from the water. Pricey product, but amazing to have. I'm very impressed by how that has held up. This is the only tank that we keep water inside of as we travel, just to save weight. Use it as our drinking water, cooking, cleaning, all of that stuff. And then we have this 5-gallon Scepter can here. And this will just fill up at a river near a campsite, if there is one. All that rainwater I just collected off the awning. We have the really sleek Sandy Cat's water pump. You just turn it on. Oh, let's go to a shower. There we go. There's a shower mode. So this is the water I just collected off the awning. This works awesome to just clean feet, clean shoes, clean anything we need. Or when we're in hot weather, or can leave this out in the sun to warm up, we'll just straight up use this to shower. During the winter, I use this guy. This is our cu.ft tankless water heater. Has a hose with a pump that I just drop into here, and then a hose with a shower nozzle on the output. Takes propane right here. We can either hook it up to our five-pound tank or just put one of these green bottles in. It has enough battery to get probably 2 or 3 showers out of it, or you can just power it off of 12 volt in the car. Turn it on and you basically have instant hot water to shower with. I probably spend half my time sleeping in the car and half my time sleeping in this. Just depends if I want to be outside and hear a river or the rain as I sleep, or be able to spread out, or if I want to be out of the elements in a quiet place like the car. But no matter what, we usually pop this thing up and just use it as a storage garage for all of our stuff. Here, I'm going to switch over to this camera again and show you guys how much space is inside here. This is the inside of the tent. You got pockets there, you got pockets up there, you got pockets over here. And this acts as our storage bay because the rain fly is attached, so there is no point in the setup where water gets in here. It's already covered in a rain fly as you pump it up. For reference of how big this space is, Hannah and I have a Lost Horizon Queen camping pad, and that queen size mattress fits in here with a little bit of room on each side to put some backpacks or gear and whatnot. I have this stool. We've got this Helinox lightweight camping chair. Boom, there's the Chair Zero by Helinox, and then the stool by Grand Trunk. Oh, I didn't even say what that tent was. That is the Cave by HEIMPLANET. That's what the tent is called. I'll link it below so you can check it out. And again, we'll probably dedicate a full video to that thing. When I'm not sleeping in that tent, I'm sleeping in the car. Check this out. You guys are gonna think I am ridiculous. I can fully extend if I put my feet on the center console and just sleep right in here. This is a nice setup for me to just go straight from working to catching a few hours of sleep. Gets me out of the elements if it's pretty brutal outside. And that is why I call this a 3-bedroom setup. We have that up there, we have this one, and we have that bedroom over there. We could probably include the shower tent.
That's a half bath.
Yeah, half bath. In this bedroom is an office space. Let's check that out. All right, you may have seen it in previous videos, but in here is my little office workstation. I've gotten questions about this. I'm not saying this is the most ideal way to do it, but we have a sheet of plywood cut to fit the floor perfectly below this floor mat. And then I have iron pipe fittings, you can see there, screwed onto that piece of plywood and running up to another sheet of plywood up here with some speaker fabric covering it. And then I added some pipe insulation so that it wasn't scratching the door up. Fits my MacBook Pro and iPad Pro as a secondary monitor. I have some small rig clamps that hold my camera gear so they're not sliding all over while we're driving. If I ever don't want to be traveling with the desk here, I can just take it and pop it out. It's got adjustable height with some holes drilled in here, and this pin, this whole piece just drops into the pipe base so that I have a quick detach system and adjustable height. All right, I think that is a quick walkthrough of everything, and we are now on day 3 of wind, rain, hail, snow. It's basically snow and rain right now. This thing has handled it all like a champ. We will clean this thing up, but three days out here weathering the elements, and it is still going strong.
And
Man,
we've still got plenty of food to eat too.
And we've got plenty of food. Honestly, we might be here for a 4th day. We'll see. All right, we are wrapping up, and it has been pure cinema. You can see across. I mean, we've got some blue sky. We're basically right in the clouds, and so it's a constant changing landscape.